Okay, welcome back to the channel. So if you don't know, I talk about mostly natural graphite at the moment, as I see that's a good place. You could make money, could be wrong. So natural graphite goes into the lithium-ion battery. I think it's 50 kilos per average battery pack for a car is graphite. About 5 kilos is lithium, but it's supply versus demand. So yeah, it's not just about how much there is, it's supply versus demand. So an ASX company doing graphite at the moment, actually losing money. They're losing about $30 a ton on their graphite. Why? If there's such big demand for graphite now and it's growing, why are they losing money? Well, probably because China has been doing it for a while. So where are we? Anyway, you go in the thing, they lose money. Also because they're doing diesel. Diesel's really cutting into the price of making graphite. So if they were in near a renewable energy source, cheap like hydro, they could be profitable right now. But they say there's disruptions. I think they're getting out. Their cost is like $680 a ton, and they're selling for like $650. So losing a bit of money, but they reckon they get down to $400, so they make money. So that's the idea of someone actually doing graphite now. Not even a billion-dollar company came down a bit. But anyway. So we'll move on to RNU ASX. Good company, except I like to buy companies before they become $500,000 company. So the company I see will get to $500,000 will be ITM. Could be wrong, but they're right near RNU. The only difference between them and RNU, in my opinion, RNU's done more drilling, more metallurgy, and RNU's got a free loan from the government. So they're not going to have to dilute to build the mine. I'm pretty sure they're building the mine. You can look more into them. But anyway, ITM just bring out more good drill results. So I think ITM will have actually bigger resource than RNU, or just as big anyway. They both have 100-year resources. Bear in mind, there's heaps of graphite in the ground, and they believe the shortfall isn't going to be from graphite. It's going to be the processed graphite. So you get out of the ground, have to make it into round balls, and then coat it. And that's where the shortage will be. So we need apparently all the companies planning to do that. If you look at the numbers of getting graphite out of the ground, it's you spend $100 million to build the mine. Well, a good company will spend $100 million to build the mine and make $100 million in EBITDA per year. If you're lower capex and big EBITDA, even better. The reason you'll have a lower capex and a bigger EBITDA is because you're probably near a capital city, got existing renewable power, existing roads, existing workforce. So you're not out in the middle of nowhere, the middle of Australia. You have to spend millions and millions more than someone who's right near a capital city like ITM and RNU. Continuing on, so they just keep hitting more graphite. They're going to have 100-year mine life of graphite. Yeah, so that's why I'm invested in them. And there's going to be a shortfall in graphite. They're only 30 million. A bit more today. They went up 10%. So what, they're now 30 million. I think they've got about 8 million cash. They're putting a lot of that into the ground. I'm pretty sure the company's good with dilution. He doesn't like... They raised money and they didn't want to... They got heaps of money thrown at them, but they said, no, we just want enough just to get by. So very good quarterly results. We can read those as well. Pretty much about drilling their big deposits out. So moving along, that's probably my top pick, or one of them, iTech Minerals. Another one is WKT. They're not going into the battery, graphite into the battery, they're going graphite into the other markets, but I believe they probably will switch in the future if the price is right. I'm not sure if they're exploring that avenue or not, but they're just getting out of the ground, selling into the other uses for graphite. And they say you can buy the company for about $70 million. Always look at this for the actual market cap because this can be wrong. So $70 million comes with a mine, and they reckon they're going to make $60 million in EBITDA. And then after tax and costs, $25 million Australian in the hand. So think if that actually happens, if what they say comes true, for $70 million, and then you're getting $25 million in the hand, and they can pay that as a dividend. But what will happen? If they do make $25 million successfully, they're going to straight away double the amount of graphite they're getting out of the ground if demand allows, and then $50 million in the hand. And that's the best case scenario. So even if they make 10 to 15 million, that is pretty good, and they'll probably go to double production, I would say, because they've got the resource there. So that's another one of my top picks, and I have an inkling they will switch to battery. If they're getting graphite at the ground, it wouldn't be a big switch to go to battery minerals, you would think. Okay, one of my other top companies, VRC. Yep, you won't like the stock if you bought it higher, but it's right now $40 million. They do have a working graphite mine. Problem is it's in Ukraine, and I thought they'd just done with it, but they're looking to get power. So apparently, I thought they would be done, but the war is allowing them. Sorry. Anyway, you read this. They're going to try and get power there and get back into production. So say there was no war and they're pumping out day and night, they could probably make $30 million a year. And then with a little spend, because it's already existing, they just have to upgrade it, don't have to do a whole lot of other stuff. They can make $100 million a year in EBITDA with little money spent. So that's why it's a good company, $40 million. But say the war gets worse and all that, they do have this other project here, which is a massive 20-year mine life. They spend, all these companies can sort of do a small thing, spend less money, and then when the demand allows, they can upgrade, do more tons. But I think they spend $175 million USD, and they can make $195 million EBITDA per year, and they can do it for 20 years, and they could do that for 40, 60 years if they drilled out more, which no one spends money drilling because they don't need to right now. That'll just be a waste of money. So that's them. They got a working mine in Ukraine, which if that war turns around, it's going to be very good. And if not, they got a big mine in Tanzania, and they got plans to go downstream as well. So another one of my top picks. Bear in mind, my top picks are all like 50 million or less. Yes, so that's them. There's heaps of other ones. Yeah, but they're my top. I've looked at them all twice over or 3 times over, but these are my top picks. Let me know yours. There is, yeah, EV1. Yeah, there's heaps of others, but these ones are among the best in my opinion. Think about Volt Resources. I think they're one in Tanzania, diesel power, which I don't like, but I think it's pretty cheap to build a solar plant right now. If you build your own solar plant and save money, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why SYR haven't done that. Maybe they have or planning to. But anyway, yeah, you got to look at a power source is a big cost of the graphite mine and processing it. So you want to look into that, but never mind, they got a pretty good thing. Bear in mind, the studies say what they think they'll make, and then it takes like a year. They get into production, and things don't go right straight away. They have to iron out the kinks and stuff. But yeah, that's going to be the same problem for anyone. Anyway, ITM, like these guys, they have existing workforce in the area. Renewable, the whole of South Australia is on renewable energy, battery power at night, wind, solar. So they'll have cheap electricity, existing roads, near port, etc. Big, massive mine life. Yeah, so the difference between them and RNU's got a loan from the government, done a bit more work, where ITM is following close behind them. And when those announcements come out about a government loan or an offtake agreement with ITM, more drilling, they'll go up. Bear in mind, when the actual graphite shortfall happens and the prices go up, they'll go up as well. But that could be 3 years away. So, yes, who knows what's going to happen in the meantime. But a good price now. You don't want to, miss out on getting company and then you've missed out at 2x just because you're waiting for a lower price. Well, in my opinion, I've bought out now and I'm just waiting for that graphite shortfall to hit, because it looks like LFP batteries are the batteries of the next 5 to 10 years, if not more. Sodium ion is going to be a cheaper battery because more abundant materials in sodium ion battery. But guess what? When they're going to make sodium ion, those sodium ion materials are going to increase in price as well. So yeah, sodium ion is going to be cheaper when they get it all done. But guess what? When they go to ramp up sodium ion, they need all these millions of materials. Guess what? Those people are going to say, well, you're gonna have to pay us more. And so that's what LFP was apparently cheap, and then everyone needs all that stuff at once. Lithium being the shortfall with LFP, or the most least abundant material. The nickel-based batteries are the high energy density ones. Nickel is the most rarest material, but sodium ion, everything's in here. But yeah, it's not as cheap as LFP, and probably won't be for 5 to 10 years. And it's not as energy dense either at the moment. So sodium ion doesn't use natural graphite, LFP does, and I believe LFP will be the battery for the next 5 to 10 years, if not beyond. But who knows? Sodium ion could surprise us all, but looks unlikely. So once again, top pick, iTech Minerals. Why? Because big resource, no shortage of stuff in the ground in South Australia, renewable energy, cheap energy, in an area with existing workforce. Not going to have to build a mining camp or something like that. Yeah, and the study pretty much done by RNU is they're going to have similar numbers, you would think, basically in the same, not very far away at all. So that's why iTech Minerals put on my top picks. WKT, because they're actually building the mine, they'll finish the mine later this year, and then hopefully, if not 25 million after cost and tax, at least 15 or 10 million, and then they might iron out the kinks and get up to that 25 million, even before the graphite shortfall comes in. Graphite shortfall, yes, so that goes like that. VRC, another one, existing like mine, although in Ukraine, existing mine that actually can make money if there wasn't a war, and the big thing in Tanzania, and the plans for downstream in America. So yes, top 3 picks. There is a few others. GM. If you didn't know, Mason Graphite, they have a massive thing in Canada, which will be hydropowered processing, huge grade, 25% grade, like massive mine life. They have to spend $1 billion or more, but then they make $500 million per year, and that's before the graphite shortfall. So yeah, and I think the Canadian government is willing to get in there and help out. But guess what? Next is Mason Graphite. I think Mason Graphite is $20 to $30 million, but their little neighbor, ASX, is only $5 million. So it won't take much to move this company. They had a little announcement about graphene battery not long ago, and it like doubled overnight. So a bit more risk, but they got huge grade. They got 30% grade. They got the jumbo flake as well. Hydropower where they are. So right now, I think they're just waiting for the graphite shortfall to kick in for the share price to rise, and then they'll probably raise money, do more drilling. Yeah, so that's a bit more risky, but a bit more return if it does go well. Probably leave that at this. And if you want to know what's happening to lithium price, like this price went sky high and it's come back down. Listen to this video, and this guy, he's a bull on graphite as well. He's saying there's got a big shortfall of graphite coming. Yeah, it's not from the stuff in the ground, it's from the processed stuff. But obviously, if you want to be a good person who's a good company that's cheap in making the processed stuff, you probably want your own supply as well. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. So ITM, okay, I'll leave it at that. See you later.